Hey guys, it's MDB here, of course in my own backyard, and it's mosquito season. Bad news for all of us, but good news is for you. We have today a natural insect repellent that'll last you from now until the end of summer. It's gonna be awesome. I'll see you in the lab. Hey fam, and welcome back to $1 Million Batchmaker. I am MDB, the $1 Million Batchmaker, and yes, today we are going to do another tutorial, just knocking them out one after the other. Today's tutorial is all about insect repellent and how we can actually make our own. We're going to be discussing, what works, what doesn't work, and hopefully we're gonna take everything we've gathered up to the lab and see if we can make any improvements. And with that in mind, guys, please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment if you feel so inclined. Just think of me as your Sherpa up the mountain of personal care and cosmetics. No one's gonna give you the kind of info and in-depth knowledge like I do. I promise you, I've been all over the internet. Now first, let's just briefly discuss what insect repellents really are. You see, over the course of many millennia, certain species of plants have managed to evolve different defense mechanisms against various bugs and insects. These defense mechanisms usually come in two forms. The first form being general volatile chemicals that many bugs find either toxic, unpleasant, or outright unpalatable, much like a fart or the sight of your ex with a much more handsome and taller man. Jackie, please, just take me back. I can be better, I swear. I'll start wearing that deodorant you like, really. All right, man, get it together, come on. All right, where was I? Oh, right. The other form of defense actually comes in the form of pheromones. Pheromones are very powerful scent molecules that pretty much dominate the animal kingdom. Problem is, pheromones can be very insect specific. Some pheromones may deter, ticks, while that same pheromone may not deter mosquitoes, which is why most of the insect repellent products you see on the marketplace don't really use pheromones, and they default to the first category, the generally obnoxious natural aromatic scents. So what are the specific chemicals that produce this effect? Well, there has been a fair amount of science done on this topic. Some studies have identified the most effective essential oils at keeping insects and other critters at bay. Other studies have gone into such fine-grained detail that they can point out the exact aromatic chemicals that do this same thing but much more effectively. In fact, guys, for your benefit, I like to point to this often quoted 2023 study, which shows that cinnamon oil, which contains an aromatic chemical called cinnamaldehyde, clove oil, which contains a lot of the aromatic chemical eugenol, and geraniol oil, all have the potential of keeping mosquitoes, ticks, and other critters away for up to 2 hours. Other ingredients like clove and citronella are good choices, but they actually don't last very long. Just keep in mind, this same study used no additives, which would actually enhance the ability for essential oils to stay on the skin and actually make a slow release of those volatile aromatic chemicals. But this is something that we will address in our lab demonstration. So in fact, let's just start right now. Let's head up there. Hey guys, we're back in the lab and we're not wasting any time. First, we have xanthan gum, which will give our formulation some body, thickness. We have witch hazel, which is an astringent, helping the formula actually stick to your skin. We also have glycerin, which will help protect our skin from volatile chemicals. Citric acid for pH balancing. And though it's not labeled, polyglycerol oleate, which is our emulsifier. It's quite weak actually, but perfect for our application. Argan oil, this is a carrier oil. It helps dissolve our essential oils and protects our skin in the process. And speaking of essential oils, we have lemongrass oil, which if we remember from our chart, bugs hate. Cedarwood oil, which is another one that they hate, a very earthy scent. Geranium oil, which is one that they really hate. And cinnamon leaf oil, which is one that they hate most of all. And of course we have the water base that we are working with for this oil and water emulsion. Okay, so first we're setting up the mixer here so that we have a good vortex. And immediately we're going to put in our first two phase A ingredients, glycerin and witch hazel. Again, I'm only making 300 grams right now, so almost all of the inputs will be very small. Okay, once that's in, we're going to add a very small amount of xanthan gum, our thickener. It is a small amount because this formula has to be sprayable, so it can't be too thick. And we let that mix for 10 minutes or so. Okay, so as we can see, the xanthan gum is fully mixed in and we can continue with the citric acid. Again, just a small amount, and this is for pH adjustment. Next, we put in the polyglycerol oleate, our emulsifier. And as you can see, we get an immediate reaction. The solution turns white and cloudy, which simply means that it's working. Now that we have the emulsifier in, we can add our oils. The first oil we'll start with is the carrier oil, argan oil. Now, just a heads up, as I said, polyglycerol oleate is a weak emulsifier and won't completely emulsify all of the oils we put into the formulation. The formulation will slowly turn yellow as a result. But we will continue with the most powerful essential oil on our list, that is cinnamon leaf oil. And it doesn't matter what order we put the essential oils in. Next we have cedarwood oil. Probably the easiest way to make any product smell earthy, by the way. Next, we're putting in the lemongrass oil, which is a little less potent than cinnamon, but still a good choice. See how this is becoming more and more yellow? And lastly, we're adding geranium oil. In fact, the amount of geranium oil we're adding is so small that I'm only adding a few drops by pipette. And now this is the big moment. Also, since our emulsifier is not great, you should probably shake the emulsion before each use to get its full effect. There is another formulation that includes glycerol stearate, which is a stronger emulsifier, but that process is a hot process, not a cold process formulation like this one. I will include it in the formulation section in the description box below. Now, let's see how this applies. It sprays nicely, that's good. It's not very runny either, and it spreads on the skin. And it's a little bit tacky because of the witch hazel, but hopefully that keeps the essential oils from evaporating too fast. Good job. And that's it. Now I'm doing something a little bit different this time. I'm offering the formulations mentioned in the tutorial for free for 1 month. After that, the formulations will be available for a small price on alchemistexpress.com. See, I'm encouraging people to follow the channel and get updates so that they can act early. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Before we wrap things up here, I just want to address the big kahuna in the room, the gigantic 5-ton elephant. That is DEET, DEET. For those of you who don't know, DEET is an alternative to the essential oils and aromatic chemicals that we've mentioned and been using thus far. It is synthetic, and it was developed during World War II to protect troops in tropical, malaria-prone areas. And unlike the, essential oils and pheromones we've mentioned that can make life unpleasant for bugs, DEET takes a different approach. It actually masks the natural odors that the human body gives off, the same odors that insects generally use to find humans in the first place. So in that sense, it's almost like an invisibility cloak in spray can form. And for general public health reasons, I should mention that the CDC and the FDA strongly recommend the use of DEET-based insect repellents in areas that are hotbeds for diseases like Zika, Lyme disease, malaria, etc., etc. And I think I could go on and on about DEET and all the other, insect repellent alternatives. Yes, there are multiple. But I think I'll save that for another episode. For now, guys, remember to like, subscribe, comment if you feel inclined. This has been another beautiful episode of $1 Million Batchmaker. Keep formulating, and I'll see you next time.